Hi, this is Cole from printandartgames.com. Just going to run through the process of assembling the Amazed board game, 3D printed board game, because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to send it assembled or in parts where it's self-assembly at the other end of the delivery. Also run through a few of the actual printed parts. I mean, this is the main board, obviously. Got some gates, switches, some gates, which the gates and the markers can be customised. So, I mean, for this one, it's going to be an electric guitar and a musical note on the gates, because that's what the customer requested. So, you know, if you have any preference, that can also be asked for on my website. Go through the kind of quality you're going to expect from a 3D printed board game. I mean, some of the parts may have like this disgusting looking, it's actually ABS juice. The whole idea is it's part of the process of the way I 3D print. I coat the bed in ABS juice so the actual 3D print doesn't warp or lift off the bed, so you end up getting a fairly decent print and you don't waste your filament. But that's another story. I mean, majority of the parts you don't see the stainage. I mean, I was thinking of going through the process of actually painting them, but then obviously that's added a cost and time to creating a build, and considering it basically takes 20, I think it works out about 24 hours to actually make a Amazed board game start to finish. And obviously I need to sleep, so technically 2 days it takes to complete a Amazed board game. So adding the painting would only make it longer and obviously more dearer. So anyway, back to the assembly. Okay, we're going to start off with the side pieces. Now, these attach to the bottom of the bed. Basically, it works on a tilting mechanism where it tilts slightly to the side and then forward like a seesaw. And these are basically blocks on the side of the board to stop it tilting too much to the side. If you ever buy one of the games, you'll understand the mechanics for these parts, but I'm not going to go into that now. Anyway, you get two parts for these side pieces for the tilting mechanism. Basically 4 pins and a block. Basically you place the pins onto the block one and poke it through the holes that have been made for them. Like so. Oh blimey, come on. It's all very tightly designed. The simple fact, obviously, it doesn't fall apart too easy. And luckily, the design has come out quite robust, but not unbreakable, but quite robust. So you can push them in like so. The pin pieces are designed with a thin front air aerial. Obviously that goes to this side of your cube. Push them through, and then basically we're now ready to place this part actually onto the bed. Now the cube is on a square base and slightly to one side of the square. Now basically you want this square as close to the edge of your board as it can get, so therefore it goes in like so. You've got 4 holes here and they should fit within the board quite nicely, like so. Push down. It's all designed so it should all just snap in like so, and you do exactly the same on the opposite side. Your 4 pins into a cube, probably not actually describing it very correctly, but the video aid helps a hell of a lot, I imagine. Again, like so. So the cube, you want it closest to the edge, 4 holes in the centre, line up your pins and just basically push down. It should all snap in. Oh, blimey. Like so. Your 2 side blocks in place. Now we're going to do the centre piece, which is actually the tilting mechanism. Now you get one of these pieces that was designed, basically 4 prongs poking out a solid piece. You got 2 of these pieces, and you also have another 4-pronged piece. Works in the same manner as your side blocks. So you take one of these pieces, place it over like so, and poke it through the holes like you did on the side pieces. And that's that. That's ready to go. Now what I find a bit easier is we want to take this piece, 2 of the prongs, I've got to fit in 2 of the holes on the centre piece. I bend it slightly. All the parts are made out of ABS, so it kind of makes it, gives it a bit more give. Now if I printed it out with PDLA or a couple of different other materials, it's just too rigid. You give it a little bend, it has no give in it. Hence, all my ball game is made out of ABS. Again, place your finger right slightly behind it, give it a little bend, not loads, just enough to get it over the ridges. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. As he says. And there are some. Okay. Should be fairly loose. After a few games it will definitely get loose, more looser as it goes on. Now you want to place this part into the 4 holes with your pins. The tilt that's going to be connected to the middle of the bed is actually side to side. Okay. Line up the holes just like before on the side pieces, and just push down. There you go. That is the bottom part of the Amaze 3D printed ball game assembled. Then you just flip it over and you get the gist. Your tilting mechanism's there. Your next part comes with a piece of card. All these pieces will be cut out. I cut out with a die machine, so it should be pretty spot on. It's not going to fit. It's not going to be tight. For the simple fact I found that I'd end up tearing it otherwise if it was too tight. So the holes are slightly bigger, so it fits in just with a slight push. I wouldn't go to do this too quickly. If I do kit forms like this, because you can tear the card. But basically you just push it down so it's flat on the base. The whole principle, whole idea of this piece of card is because, as you probably noticed already, in 3D printing you get these lines, and basically when you have balls on a board game to run correctly as they should, they were following the actual lines of the print rather than running how you'd like them to run for the game mechanic. So yes, that's all fairly done. Right, now we're going to come to the wings. You've got two prongs on the wings, you've got two holes, pretty much the same sort of shape, and you basically line up the holes on the corners here and just push down. You have two of the same colour on one side and the other will be the opposite colour, hence red. Line up the holes and just push down. Now if I do assembled kits, they more than likely will not have the wings attached, because I have found over the processes of building these games that out of all the parts that are more likely to break, it will be the wings if they are attached. Okay. Like so. It's all good. Right, now you can place your gates in. Red on the red side. You have 4 gates, but 5 slots. There's a reason for that. It's because if you have 5 balls running in this game, the game goes on far too long. And I've worked out that this is actually the good number to have for the gameplay. Then you've got red switches, which will place in front of the yellow gates in the pattern like so. And you have yellow switches in front of the red gates. And then the remaining switches are all the same colour in the middle, like so. You might find that some of them might be poking up a bit, not quite where the card has laid flat. I wouldn't worry too much, because the card will settle down and sit quite nicely on the bed in the end after a game or two. Then you have your markers, which for this game are guitars, as I said before. Yellow side goes on that side, and the red on this side. And you also will be getting 4 red, or whatever colour the sides may be at the time, silicone beads. I'm using silicone beads because I've had major trouble trying to find silicone solid balls or rubber balls. Now I would really like to have had rubber balls, because I think the weight definitely would help in the gameplay. And then place the yellow ones, your 4 yellow ones, behind the 4 yellow gates. And there you go, that's the assembly of Amazed, the 3D printed board game from Print A Lot Games. Thank you very much, guys.